Hello and welcome back to the channel. We're looking at about 116, 117 in here in the big hoop house. Just gonna give you a look, show you what's going on behind me. But got about 106 outside, maybe a little more where we're at. Hottest day is tomorrow, but what we've been through in the last couple of days, I'm really happy with what's going on. You know, even our little starts haven't gotten nuked yet. Still looking good, still looking spry. You know, as I look down, and even down the zooks, you know, you see the leaves going upwards, like they're still flaring up. I'll show you out in where the strawberries have wilted. You know, then the leaves turn down. But you know, these strawberries, tomatoes, everything's still looking perky. Some of these tomatoes were already drooping because of the weight of some of them. So what I'm seeing is things are surviving this little heat wave we got going on. You know, things were already getting a little yellow because of little spider going on there. Spider-Man. Getting a little yellow, which we caught, and things were actually getting greener because of the fertilizer that we've put down. So, looking in on this zook right here, that's one that we fertilized. It's already about 4-inch with the flower on there. So, looking forward, and there's another one there. These first three, I had one male flower, which I got to pollinate, so hopefully these first three have taken. See how small that second one is down there. That flower hasn't opened up, so waiting for flowers to open up, but things are still looking good. Look at these maters, huh? Maters are looking good. So what we do, we get out here early in the morning, hit it pretty good. I mean, soak it down, get it nice and cool in here, and let this 50-50 peat moss dirt mixture holds that moisture really good. And then I'll show you the shade, what we got. Things like mesh tarps and shade cloths and things like that. Everything's flying off the roof, you know, people, but buying stuff up to protect their gardens and things. Even fans are hard to find. Everybody's buying the fans. Everything's still looking good. I'm really surprised. Let me jump out here real quick and show you what we got. Okay, quick look at the carrot bed right here by the big hoop house. I mean, looking lush, not looking distressed. In the shade now, thanks to this maple tree. And this maple tree, when things were starting to go or take off, it was kind of a bummer that this shaded out the hoop house a lot. But during the day, it starts down on this end. And as the sun moves, that shade works its way across the hoop house here. So it actually gives us a lot of nice shade. So one good saving grace there, shading grace. But what we found that was accessible is a couple of screens. They're actually garage door screens with magnets in the middle. And we actually zipped two of those together. One coming down this way, and another one, so they join up there at the peak, and then we have another one coming down this side, and that's shading the end, because at the end of the day, when the tree's gone, this end of the greenhouse, if I back up, so this end of the greenhouse gets all of the afternoon sun, and the tree up there had been shading the other half of the greenhouse almost all day. The chickens are back here in the shade, keeping cool, getting bugs. I'll go take a look at the octagon now. So really happy with what the big hoop house is doing. Grape is looking okay. Hasn't got much water. For various reasons, because the birds hit it so bad, we haven't really done much with the kale. It kind of came up bolted. We almost missed it. And kind of some discouragement on the other, for planting out here. Just having to fight to keep the birds off it and whatever. Really need to get the dome built and set up, so it's kind of a next year thing. Strawberries really fall over and take a hit, but you give them some water, they perk back up like that other half. I see a couple laying down. I'll get the hose out here and do that when I'm done shooting this video. Arugula is ready to take. That's planned. There's some lettuce in the front there that's going to look pretty good. And that char is just springing back with the dillon behind it. So still some things looking good out here, but we're going to walk over. Check out the beast. Beast gets a lot of good shade from the apple tree and the other tree here in the afternoon. Take a look here. Bowl my way through. Flower and tomatoes here. Something's getting on the end of that cabbage, and a little bit on that one, but not looking too bad. Did get a couple of blueberries down on the end. Lots of flowers going on these tomatoes. You can see where we've taken the top of the broccoli off, so we're still getting some broccoli, and as we do, she just started some more bush beans down here, kind of with some tomato cage or trellis, so they got something to climb up on. As you see, we added a bunch of dirt as we pulled a lot of the, this is where the cilantro and dill were, pulled that out, and and then added another good 2-3 inches of the mixture, surrounded the chives that were already down here, where the lettuce and the other arugula, the first batch of arugula was. So that's up now, and we're going to plant some more crops down here. As you can see, getting a few blueberries on the bush there. So that's exciting. Some of these are getting ripe. Strawberries. I think the strawberries have ceased, got a little hot and stressed, so I think they're done, but they do still grow. What they're doing is sending out runners and things like that, so we'll continue to water them, and as the weather gets nicer, maybe in the fall, maybe they spring back and give off some more fruit there. Peach tree, we moved one peach tree out because it had made it to the top on the other side there. But peach trees loving it in here. And there we have more of the broccoli. Still see some water. Which is cool if you've ever grown broccoli. It's almost like, it has a wax, and the water just repels off. And the leaves shape so the water will funnel down, to the center stem. Just nature's design. But a few more little heads of broccoli coming. And we're enjoying that as it comes. This lettuce, I think, this was the other original batch of lettuce. I think it's just gotten pretty stressed. Didn't really bolt, but still some there. We could probably cut it, get it, but give it a taste here. A little bitter, but not too bad. But we'll probably be removing that. Probably just let these tomatoes take over. Maybe put something in between there. Maybe not. Some more broccoli coming there. But all in all, here in the hoop houses, which it does, you see, hold the temperature. That's what the hoop house does. But got some damage from windstorms and things. The beast is going to need some repairs. Soon, re-plastic it is what's going to happen. But if it makes it through this year, it'll be great. But these tomatoes are doing really well down here now. And that's where the peach tree was. Got it out of here. Also that strawberry. So we got a little area here. Pull up some of this grass and maybe take over some more area with more mixture, because we still have a few yards of dirt out front from the 10 yards of dirt we got this spring. Still taking kale out of the middle. Kale still holding water. You see some water on it there. A lot of tomatoes in there. So we keep taking the kale to let that stuff underneath, the little volunteer tomatoes and things, come up and come through. Another thing, which we just read, that if you get a female asparagus plant, because there are males and there are female asparagus, we were finding out that asparagus do put off berries, and that's where we will get some seeds. So I think we're going to wait. They will turn red, which will keep you updated. Once they turn red, take them off, sun dry them, and rub them in your fingers to open up the skin, and you'll get the seeds out of them. And then we can plant more asparagus. There's a couple little shoots, that keep shooting up. So it keeps growing, but this is, again, second year on the asparagus. Want to let them go for 2 years, establish those roots. But next year we'll be cutting them as they come up, 8-10 inches or whatever, nice fat little asparagus, and be eating our asparagus. But very awesome. We didn't see seeds last year, so we got seeds on the asparagus this year. So pretty exciting. We'll propagate those seeds somewhere else. Raspberries are still looking green as I leave the feast here. And got some red ones over here. Take a look. There's a few red ones. I think a couple of them got pretty sun-dried, but they were kind of like that before. We had not really, there were some weeds here that we got out of the way, and they were laying over, and then we saw that they were like, oh shoot, we have raspberries. So I think we kind of missed that, so I wouldn't think that was, casualty to the heat wave that we got going on here. But it's starting to curl a little bit, so everything needs kind of its afternoon. We're going to water everything again and cool everything off for the morning, get out here again, and tomorrow there's, another triple-digit day. They're even saying record-setting, 110, 111, maybe something like that. So have to keep an eye on everything, keep things cool. Try to keep things shaded or damp, but not burn things. So that's what's going on here. I'll work my way out to the front beds, and we'll check out any damage out there. Okay, we are out front now. And what we did out here is take some big plant-based containers, and we did some rings in here, and you'll be able to see them a little better. But I think we did some spinach and arugula and a couple of different things. When we cut the chives, we did chives over in one of these. I think this is the chives. Yep, there's the chives. And this is a little lettuce bucket that we did right there. And you can kind of see the arugula here in the middle. Then we did another ring of arugula and then a radish ring all the way around the outside. So just something fun we're doing, keeping crops in rotation. And everything's looking good. They don't feel too crispy. They're actually feeling pretty plump. I can get a focus on there. So yeah, a few little starter pots that we got going for fun. And we'll go take a look at the front beds here. Cart! Game on! Neighbor was passing by there. Out here we're taking a look at the watermelon, volunteer tomatoes. Watermelons, they're in the air here, still feeling kind of dry. They missed the little water we had going earlier, the sprinkler just doesn't reach that hose out here, so I gotta bring the other one. A little crispy, but the zucchini's looking good. Grape leaves are always drooping. But volunteer lettuce bed looking fine. Birds are kind of hammering those sunflowers out front there, but everything's still, you know, upwards and perking. So we have the sprinkler on out here and the cauliflower bed. You know, here I'm standing next to, get my shiny leg in there, knee high by the 4th of July, baby. That's what they say on the corn, and corn is looking good. Corn likes water, so keep it watered. Beans are starting to look good, lush. Birds are, you know, if the birds are attacking the sunflowers, that's okay. You know, once you water the celery, you can smell the celery, which is cool. Love the smell. These zooks get a little more water here, but everything's still kind of perky here. I'm going to spin around. I'll actually walk around, take a look in here. Been taking a little bit of the chamomile out, harvesting some of these peas. You know, been getting a lot of the snap peas. That one's just done. You can see the peas, the ripples, you know, the big peas in there. Maybe you can hear that crunch. So tasty. Good stuff. A lot of bees lately. Hornets, well, that's fine. Bees buzzing, they're hitting stuff. As you can see, we got a lot of peas hanging. The peas are thriving right now. Still green, not looking stressed. Usually the peas start to get bleached out, you know. A couple down there that are maybe doing a little yellow, but all the flowers back here, the bees are just loving. All these wildflowers have gone nuts with this heat wave. Lots of bee action out here, if you can see all of it. Couple zooks back here, looking perky. The cabbage, not looking too bad. Cabbage gets really wilted, lays down almost flat, but you can see it's, you know, standing upright. It's looking good. Nasturtiums are getting a little bleached. They get hot back in that corner. Put a little piece of cow panel here, or livestock panel, for the peas. The peas should start grabbing that. This row of peas should go up, so when these peas behind me start to fade away and maybe die off, we got another group of peas there, and, you know, another row of peas up there with the volunteer lettuce up there. She did a row of beans there too. Hopefully everything starts grabbing that cattle paneling and pull itself up. Chilling this area out here in the middle. There was some chamomile here, but I'm going to get this weeded, and we'll do a little more. Just got some green leaf lettuce over here. Another row of green leaf. 3 rows of green leaf. All coming up in front of the peas. So got another, you know, lettuce rotation coming. Garlic chives we've been eating. Love them. Love that stuff. Garlic chives. Onion chives. That's where we got the blooms. Crunch on my pea here. Let's just show you this bloom. Give you a quick little thing over here. If there's any seeds in here or not, or if it's opened. Should see some black seeds. This one might have just dumped them all on the ground. Anyway, those onion blooms, that's where you get the seeds. I think the seeds are still in those green pods, not quite dry. Get in there on those green pods. But they give out a little black seed in there. And I'll come back out and get that later. But little black seeds, we took those seeds, that's what's growing in that starter pot over there. And then you keep more chives, so that's why we let things go to bolt. Here's one of those volunteer lettuce that's going to bolt, and either we let it just bolt and the seeds fall, or we'll chop that off, dry it out, get the seeds, and then we have more lettuce for next year. So rotate the crops, but get what you can seed-wise and save them. And then you ain't having to buy seeds online or at Home Depot or Lowe's or something. And keep your own crops going. That's what we want to do with the tomatoes and the butternut. We get a good crop, and you get a good plant. You definitely want to save the seeds off that plant, because that's the genetic, makeup for those tasty butternuts or tomatoes, and keep those seeds going, and try to label that tomato and bring that tomato back every season. And that's gardening. Thanks for tuning in. I think it's still over 100 degrees, maybe dipped off a little here, but still hot, hot, hot. We'll give everything a nice shower, perk it back up, hit it in the morning, like I said, and tomorrow's another battle. Looks like we're going to be battling all week. Have to stay on top of it to keep this garden safe and growing. Thanks for tuning in. Share, like, subscribe. Let me know what you're doing in your garden. Keeping it shaded, watered, or if you got to stay inside because the heat's too much. I mean, you got to take care of number one first. But let me know in the comments down below what you're doing at your garden with your crops, and what crops you got going, and how this heat's affecting you. And we'll see you on the next one.